zero traffic collision fatalities by 2050. That's Honda's lofty but very commendable goal. As such, they are equipping most of their models with advanced active safety features, which they call Honda Sensing, including this one, which starts at less than ₱1 million. This is a 2024 Honda City V. Is it worth our money? Let's find out. The facelifted Honda City comes in 4 variants. This one right here is the V variant, which is in the middle of the lineup. It sells for ₱1,073,000. The changes on the outside on this facelift are pretty minor. Like this chrome action over here is now thinner. On the previous Honda City, you had a bigger bulge of chrome over here. And I have to say, I do prefer this look. The V variant still gets halogen headlamps and halogen fog lamps. This also gets 16-inch wheels wrapped in 195/55 series Yokohama tires. You still get disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the back. The suspension is unchanged. You still get McPherson's at the front and a torsion beam at the back. The V variant gets power folding side mirrors with repeaters. The door openers are finished in chrome, and this gets a smart locking system. You don't have to get the key out of your pocket to lock or unlock the vehicle. To lock or unlock it, you can just press this button over here, or you can just leave the car and it'll automatically lock itself. And if you try to open the car, it'll automatically unlock as well. Now, as you can see, the back looks completely different. I'm kidding. It looks exactly the same. You get the same LED tail lamps over here, the same bumper. I have to correct myself there. The new bumper has a few more creases, and the reflectors are now horizontal instead of vertical. The trunk size is exactly the same as well. Cargo space is 500 liters, which is a lot for such a small car. It's more space than a lot of compact crossovers. As you can see here, I was able to fit 1 luggage bag, my camera backpack, a helmet, and it looks like you still have room here for at least 1 person in a fetal position. You can't fold the second row seats though, so if you need to load very long items, you'd have to be very creative. The styling changes are very minor. The most significant changes to the new Honda City are somewhere over here. So this now comes with Honda Sensing. This has a camera over here which reads the road in front of you. It now has adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, autonomous emergency braking, and I think that's a pretty big deal, especially for a family car. Okay, so under the hood is the same 1.5-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine as the pre-facelift City. It puts out 119 horsepower and 145 Nm of torque, and it's coupled to the same CVT transmission. Now that may not seem like much, but it's the best in its class. It's also very fuel efficient, which we'll talk more about later. So like the outside, not really much has been changed here visually. You now get an 8-inch screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. The resolution is pretty decent, and you also get physical buttons over here. I just have one thing to nitpick about. I wish I didn't have to look at the screen every time I turned on the car. You basically can't use it until you press OK, which is not really a deal breaker, but a bit of an annoyance. You also get a reverse camera, but you don't get active guidelines. You still get single zone climate control, and thankfully you still get physical knobs and buttons. You get dual USB-A ports over here, one 12-volt outlet. You get a manual handbrake. Yeah, in terms of materials, this part over here is leather wrapped. The rest of the dashboard is made of hard plastic. This is hard plastic over here. The armrests are covered in fabric. The V variant gets fabric seats, fabric armrests. Both front seats are manually adjustable. If you want leather seats, you'll have to opt for the top-of-the-line variant. Now, thankfully, you get a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and you now get a lot more buttons on the steering wheel because, like I said, this now comes with Honda Sensing. You have buttons here for your adaptive cruise control and also your lane keep assist. Later on, we'll demonstrate these features in case you're not familiar with them. The instrument cluster is mostly analog. You get an analog speedometer, an analog tachometer, and a multifunction screen at the center. The V variant gets a push start button. In terms of storage, the glove box is decently sized. You have some storage over here for your phone. You have a bit of storage underneath the armrest, not much. You get two cup holders over here. Now, one interesting quirk of the Honda City is that you don't get a mirror on the passenger side visor, while you get one on the driver's side visor. Usually it's the other way around. Usually you get a mirror over here and nothing over here. So I'm not sure why Honda switched this. Okay, so here at the back, space is quite adequate. I have quite a bit of legroom over here. Headroom is pretty decent. In terms of toys, you get two air con vents over there and not much else. You don't get any USB ports, and you also don't get a center armrest. The Honda City comes with Honda Sensing, which is Honda's suite of advanced driver assist and active safety features. They're supposed to reduce the workload of the driver by providing a bit of autonomous driving. And they're also supposed to prevent accidents from happening by giving you warnings and also doing things like applying the brakes when you don't react on time. It's not as advanced though as the ADAS features that you get on the HR-V and the Civic. Before we talk about the car's ADAS features, let's first have a word from our sponsor for today. Introducing the Atto Sport Mobility Scooter, the world's most innovative mobility scooter. It folds into a small suitcase size, and it has wheels so you can move it around like a trolley. It separates into two parts. It has leather seats and grips, an illuminated LCD dashboard, enhanced lighting for extra visibility. You can install optional armrests. It's perfect for seniors as it's easy to lift and unfolds in seconds. It has a maximum speed of 10 kph, shock absorbing flat free tires, high ground clearance, advanced braking system, be free to travel anywhere, land, sea or air. It has 20 kilometers of continuous driving range. Engineered with flair, designed with passion for performance. Be active, be free, be yourself. Atto Sport, moving life. Okay, so the Honda City now has adaptive cruise control, but unlike the HR-V and the Honda Civic, this has a minimum speed. You have to be at 30 kph or higher for you to activate it, and if you go below 30 kph, it automatically deactivates. So right now I have it activated, and as you can see, my foot is not doing anything. So automatically speeding up and slowing down depending on the speed of traffic ahead of me. But if the traffic goes below 30 kph, it'll automatically disengage, which can be unnerving if you're not used to it. Let me show you. Okay, so we're supposed to slow down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, and it automatically turns off. You have to manually step on the brakes to come to a complete stop. It's not like other adaptive cruise systems where it automatically guides you to a complete stop. This one, you'll still have to step on the brakes. So it's really for highway use and not really for stop and go traffic. Okay, so we're now on Skyway. I have adaptive cruise turned on and lane keep assist turned on. So you can see my feet are not doing anything and my hands are also not on the wheel. you can see it follows the lines on the road. The lane keep assist on the city only works at highway speeds though. So this also has lane departure warning, so if you try to move out of your lane without using your turn signals, you'll feel the steering wheel vibrate. The city also comes with collision mitigation. If it senses that there's an impending collision, it first gives you an audible warning, and if you don't act accordingly, it'll automatically apply the brakes for you. I think this is a feature that should be made standard on more cars nowadays, as it doesn't just minimize injury in a collision, but it prevents one from happening in the first place. As for NVH levels, it is the same as the previous city, which means that it's still pretty good, especially compared to other subcompacts in the same price bracket like the Vios. This has the most powerful engine in its class, but not really by much. If you're looking for a car that's quick and engaging to drive, this is not it. This is for those who have practicality and safety as their main priority. And in those two aspects, the car really does shine. Like I said, it has the most comprehensive list of ADAS features in its class. It's also very fuel efficient. I drove the car from Quezon City to Batangas and averaged about 23 kpl on the highway. That's with a very light foot. I only consumed 3 bars of fuel going to Batangas, which is pretty good considering that it has a pretty small 40-liter fuel tank. The Honda City V sells for 1,073,000 pesos, which would make it one of the most affordable sedans with full ADAS features. It's sandwiched in between the S variant, which sells for 998,000 pesos, and the RS variant, which sells for 1,128,000 pesos. If you want to save 75,000 pesos and step down to the S variant, you get smaller 15-inch wheels, you lose the fog lamps, the power folding side mirrors, you get manual air conditioning instead of automatic. If you pay the extra 55,000 pesos for the RS variant, you get leather seats, you get blacked out accents and RS specific cosmetic touches. You get LED headlamps and fog lamps, and you get remote engine start. Overall, if you're looking for a subcompact sedan from a tried and tested manufacturer, and you have safety as a priority, the Honda City is hard to beat at this price.